So, Marianne, what should someone expect if they're coming for an individual session or if they're signed up for a workshop?
Well, let's start with an individual session. Individual sessions are anywhere between 2 and 5 hours long, but the process is essentially the same, whatever length of session you're signed up for. We'll start off by talking to you about what you want to have happen during the session. And we'll take time to make sure that we've really understood that and that we know what you're wanting for yourself. We'll write that down and we'll use that to guide us as we facilitate you for the rest of the session. Once we've got clear about what you're wanting, we'll talk about your family history, your previous experiences in life, and give you the opportunity to tell us anything that you want us to know so that we can go ahead and facilitate you safely. So once we've spent some time getting to know each other and we're ready to do the shadow work, we then move to a carpet at the centre of the room. And this carpet represents your inner world. And we go through a process of representing on the carpet all the different parts of you that you think are relevant for the issue that you're wanting to explore. And you choose each time which part of you it is that you want to find out more about. So, for example, if you want to explore a part of you that was maybe very upset last night when something happened, we'll ask you to choose a coloured cloth to represent that part and to place that cloth on the carpet where you imagine it to live in your inner world. The invitation is then to go to that spot on the carpet, put the cloth around your shoulders and allow yourself to become that upset part of you. So just for a few moments, you allow all other parts of you to fall away so that we can speak just to this one part of you. And as we speak to that part of you, we get to know more about it. So when we're finished, we'll ask you to put the cloth down on the carpet in that spot and come back to your seat. And from your seat, you can get an outsider's perspective of what that part of you is like. You can start to see your inner world from the outside and that way learn more about yourself. Now, of course, it's not only parts of us that live in our inner world. Our inner world is inhabited by the people around us, by organizations, by animals, by everything that we experience. So it may be that you want to, for example, represent another person in your inner world. And the way that we do this is either using a whiteboard or using a large piece of paper where we write up the messages that you hear from that person. This way we get a representation of how that person lives in your inner world. We can place the paper or the whiteboard on the carpet. We can place a cloth with it, and that mixes up with all the other parts that are in your inner world, and we can see how everything interrelates. So once we've got a clear picture of what's going on in your inner world, we'll ask you what needs to happen here so that you can have the change that you're looking for. And that may sound like an odd question to you now, but usually when you're at that point in the process, it'll be very clear to you what you want to have happen. So once you've told us that, we'll support you in going back onto the carpet and bringing about those changes that you want to see in your inner world. It's as if it'll be slightly rewired that day. And in shadow work, we believe that your outer world is a reflection or a representation of your inner world. So as these changes that you've made to your inner world bed in and integrate, your experience of the outer world will start to change.
And if someone is signed up for a workshop, what can they expect there?
Well, in a workshop, you have the advantage of having other people who can represent these parts for you in your inner world. So once you know what a part of you is saying and what posture they have, other people in the workshop can step in, wear that cloth, say those words for you, take on that posture, and when you step back, you can see your inner world really brought to life. In a similar way, when you step in to make changes later on in your process, you've got real people that you can interact with there, and it makes it more alive and vibrant for you. Of course, the other difference with a workshop is that you have other people in the room with you. And it's important that you get to know those other people before you step up to do your shadow work, so that you can feel safe and that you know the people around you while you're doing your work. So we'll spend time with you in pairs or in smaller groups, talking about what's going on for you, talking about why you've come, talking about your understanding of the shadow and what you want for yourself from the workshop. And that way, by the time you step up onto the carpet, you have a sense of who else is in the room and who these people are who are supporting you and working with you.